I play baseball in my badass millionaire professional world and personal world. I play baseball. 3 strikes and you are out. This is a concept that I learned 18 years ago that when I applied it to my personal life and my professional life, I've never looked back. It increased my levels of peace of mind, reduced stress, anxiety, added control and independence and autonomy to my life. And bottom line, has served me on my quest for personal sovereignty in my own world. 3 strikes. I play baseball. I'll give you a story from yesterday which emphasizes this concept. Like the great Gene Simmons from the rock band Kiss said, the reason that he's able to do so well with 300 companies, all of this other stuff that have made him a badass multi-millionaire entrepreneur, father, husband. He goes, Michael, I suffer no fools. I suffer no fools. And my 3 strikes policy is all about suffering no fools. It's all about what I talk about, where we are not our highest aspirations. You're not your highest aspirations. Your life and business will always come down to your lowest, I repeat, lowest standards. What you accept is what you will get more of. What you tolerate is what you'll get more of. And it will be your fault and your responsibility. We're not our highest aspirations, we are lowest standards. So whatever our lowest standards are, we need to continually be raising those standards and improving and demanding more in those areas. This is what I use my I play baseball 3 strikes rule for. I'll explain with a story from the weekend. Krista and I were going out for dinner for our 11th anniversary. First time, we've gone someplace here in Naples without our daughter Emery. So we researched and we asked around the community, and we hired a babysitter for the first time. Somebody to look after Emery for 3 hours when we went out for a dinner together. So we talked to other parents in the community, and Krista really did her research, and we came up with a person who lives on our street. She's an experienced babysitter, and she's 18 years old, in her final year of high school, and by all accounts, a really terrific kid. Comes from an excellent family. We know her mom and dad, great people. Her father is a police officer. He actually has the police dog. He's the guy who manages the beautiful dog that he keeps in the back of the truck. So that's a nice plus. So we hired her on Friday, and as always, thanks to my buddy Dan Leonis at Einstein Blueprint, when it comes to hiring, tutors, coaches, teachers for our children, and even babysitters, nannies, if you ever did that shit, is I make a list. Krista and I make a list of expectations. And it's as simple as us writing out. I took a blank piece of white paper with a black Sharpie, and I wrote out the to-do list over the 3 hours, what's expected and what's to be done. If not, the babysitter's gonna sit there the whole night on their phone and do nothing, and we're paying them. So I made this list, and on the list is all the things, clean up the kitchen. This is the dinner you have to make. Emery can help you with all these things. Bike ride. She has her tennis lesson. In this particular night, she had a tennis lesson after supper, bike to the tennis lesson with her, and return, and then it's bedtime, floss, brush teeth, all that stuff, prayers, and then reading. She reads a chapter of her book to you before lights out. So that is the routine that I documented. It literally took me, 4 or 5 minutes, and crystal clear, right? It's written down. So good morning. So I mean, that's the expectations, and it's basically a checklist, which I believe in. So we return from our dinner, and Emery's in bed. So the next day I get up early, of course, to do my walk, and I asked Emery, I said, how did it go last night with so-and-so? And she said, oh, it was fantastic, except she was on her phone all the time. And this is something that we had discussed with her. Krista said, okay, Emery doesn't have any screen, she doesn't have any phones, so no use of your phone until Emery's in bed. So basically, we're not demanding a lot. We're just basically saying, okay, for the first couple hours, we don't want you on your phone. And for the last hour and a bit, Emery's in bed anytime after 8:30. You can do what you want then, long as the checklist is completed. So when I heard this, I mean, my blood boils. I go ape shit with this stuff, because I believe when you are have agreed to pay somebody, especially cash, and you've laid out the expectations, and you've literally spoken about it and written it down, and then you have a person who, sabotages what's expected simply because of this addiction is a good word for it, to these smartphones. So instead of being present with my daughter for the 3 hours that we hired her physically and mentally, by the way. I didn't hire, just her to be present. I hired her to be mentally present, to read, to take my daughter to tennis, to cook, to clean, whatever it was she was doing. So as soon as I heard this, I'm just, the switch has been flipped, because I look at this as ultimate disrespect. When somebody knows exactly what they're supposed to do and they refuse to do it, it's like sneaking around and cheating is what it is. Oh, well, they're not here, I can do this. So to make a short story long, she was on her phone all the time. At the tennis lesson, which is an hour, she was on her phone even when Emery was reading at the end of the night. So the whole time, this person, and she's not a kid, she's 18 years old, she should know better, but she doesn't know better, because she clearly has never been taught anything when it comes to etiquette and manners in terms of technology. And so she's I'm like, okay, I'm not going to hire this person ever again. She's not going to get the 3 strikes rule. I'm not going to play baseball. I'm just going to never ever hire this person again. And I'm going to vote with, I call it my voting with my wallet. But so yesterday, she's dropping off a key, and it's a key to the community center up here. It's the washroom and the pool and the weight room. And she had the key in case they needed access. So she's dropping off the key yesterday, and she puts it in the mailbox. But I'm sitting in my truck because I'm just getting ready to leave to go get Emery from school. And I said, boom, here's an opportunity for me to, teach somebody something. Also to be candid and clear with somebody. As the great Brene Brown says, clear is kind, unclear is unkind. So here's my opportunity to make a tiny, tiny difference maybe. So what I do is I walk up and I say hello, and I say to her, I say, how much did you charge us per hour for babysitting the other night? And she goes, well, Mr. McLean, I charge between $20 and $22 an hour cash. That's pretty good. And I said, what is your on your cell phone rate? And she looks at me. You can tell it's, her mind is racing. She's being forced to think. She's scrambling. And then I said, what is your on your cell phone all the time babysitting rate? And I shut up. And if she could have dug a hole in the ground, she would have dug a hole in the ground. All she needed was a shovel. And she literally didn't know what to say. So after about 30 long seconds, I said, listen, I said, we like you as a babysitter, we like you as a person, but we clearly asked that you not be on your cell phone, do not use your cell phone until Emery's in bed. And we're paying for your attention, your physical presence and your mental attention. So I said, I know that you were on your cell phone most of the night when we asked you not to be. So if you would like a second opportunity to babysit, I believe in second chances, especially people that don't know any better. They haven't been taught anything by their parents. They haven't been taught anything. I said, listen, I said, it's going to be simple. I said, if we call you and you accept and you want to work for us in the future, I said, your cell phone will be left in the trunk of your car or at home. Period. You don't bring it in our house. You don't use it. You don't bring it in our house. I said, your mom and dad have Krista's cell phone number in the case of emergency. That's the big thing now. All these emergencies that are they're happening. We have to be constantly connected. And to her credit, and we'll see, because most of these snowflakes melt, but she seemed to get it and understand it and take it well. So next time we have an opportunity for Krista and I to go out and we need a babysitter, we are actually going to call this person. And she's had strike one. And whether she wants to work with us is totally up to her. And I'm 100% non-needy. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. But if she is going to take my money, she's going to do things my way. Not sort of the way, all the way. So I played baseball with this person, and that's strike one. And it was also a tremendous teaching moment for her as well, because I'm sure she's never had anybody be clear and kind like that. Nobody be candid, straightforward. And I warned her, I said, because we told you our expectations, we wrote them out. I said, I was not pleased with the fact that you charged me for what you said you wanted, but then you didn't do the job. And this is the message we need to be teaching to our own children. This is the message we need to be modeling to our children. Like, if you're stuck with your nose in your phone all the time, well, what does that say to your children? It says that whatever is in that phone is more important than them, or whatever is in that phone is more important than your spouse or your wife. So these are the things that we need to be modeling when it comes to our families, and we need to be shutting that stuff off. I'll give you one more example of I play baseball, 3 strikes and you're out. I mean, it's absolutely endless in business and personal life, but it all comes down to my standards, right? I'm my lowest standards, not my highest aspirations. So if I don't play hardball with these people, my life will be in ruins. I'll have no freedom, I'll have no autonomy, I'll have no peace of mind, and I'll be ruled by the agenda of other people. I'll live like the 99%. So I'm not willing to live a life of quiet desperation like 99% of other businessmen. So one of the things I do is I play baseball. I tolerate absolutely no fools. So, fools in my house yesterday. And this is part of being a badass millionaire, is you always have your antenna up. You're always, mystery shopping. You're always checking. That's what makes a great coach, a great teacher, a great leader, a great CEO, a great manager, is this always checking and having people know that you're always checking. So we have these amazing home cleaners where we're renting. They have these cleaners that come in every 2 weeks. Krista cleans the house. I'm the dish guy, all that stuff. But part of the rental is we have these 2 home cleaners come in on Mondays every 2 weeks. We don't need them every week. And they literally are 2 of the most efficient, best workers that I have ever seen. Like, they come into our home, and it's not a large home, but I've never seen better productivity. They're in, they do the job, they say goodbye, and they're gone. We asked them one time, do you own this company? Because they show up in this cleaning car with the logo and stuff. And I was shocked when they said they didn't. Because usually somebody that has an outstanding, work ethic like that, usually is the owner. Let's be candid. Usually they're the owner. So surprisingly, these 2 girls weren't owners, but man, oh man, efficient, friendly, just, next level in terms of productivity and getting the job done. They're in our house for 90 minutes and it's spotless. But like the great Dan Kennedy says, in the end, they all go lame. In the end, they all go lame. It's not a question if, it's a question of when. Some people, vendors, employees, whatever it is, they all go lame. So yesterday, these 2 show up for no reason, late. They've been doing a fantastic job for 3.5 months. And all of a sudden yesterday, I'm out there working by the pool, reading and writing, and I notice that they're late. Okay, they're late, but they're contractors. I don't really care when they build or when they, clean the house in the morning. I'm outside, but it's noticeable that they're late, and I notice. So secondly, I notice when I go in an hour later, Krista comes home from the grocery store, and she notices that they've got earplugs in, both of them, those earbuds that you see, everybody walking around with, and completely checked out. And they're on their phones. So they're cleaning, they're mopping the floors, they're cleaning the sinks, they're doing all their stuff. But for the first time since I've ever been there, is they have these earbuds in and they're talking away on their phone. They're talking for the whole time. They're talking for, let's say, the 90 minutes. It never ends. So when they're gone, I go back in to make lunch about an hour later. And Krista says to me, she says, they missed cleaning the floor over by Clifford's dog dish. So I walk over and here's the floor unswept, unmopped, all around his dog dish. And I'm like, wow, that's very odd. These people are usually exceptionally detailed. So then she walks over and she says, well, they missed this whole area in the back where we keep the canned goods and the bag of dog food. It's how you head out to the garage. Once again, unswept, unmopped. And then finally, I look at the kitchen counter and there's a pile of dishes that haven't been washed. A pile of dishes that haven't been washed. So I sit there and Krista goes, they were on their phones the whole time. And I'm like, they were? And she said, yeah, they had their earbuds in. And when they were working, they were talking all the time on their phones. So that was enough for me, because that's not happened before. So here we are paying these people $50 an hour, $100 an hour for the 2 of them, at least. And once again, if they're not here mentally, I want to know what the discount is. if you're going to attempt to multitask, which no human being, by the way, you cannot multitask. A human being's brain is designed where you can keep one thought, one single thought at a time in your mind. And anybody who's a multitasker is a person who does a whole bunch of things and none of them well. Do not ever take pride in being a multitasker. Starve that out of your vocabulary, because a multitasker is somebody who does a whole bunch of things, none of them well. One thing at a time, boom, 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 off the list, next, off the list, next, off the list, next, off the list. Totally focused, both feet in today on that one thing. That's how badass champions work. Boom, done, next, done, next, done, next. Multitasking is for chumps. So we had a couple of chumps in our house yesterday, and I was very disappointed because up to that point they've done just a tremendous job, but they all go lame and I go on results. So time to play baseball, because I paid for this and I didn't get the agreed performance. I'm all about results. I'm a former pro hockey coach, amateur team owner, hockey coach. I understand. I lived in the business where it's a results business or you're fired. It's a result. What have you done for me today? And I love that life. So what have they done for me today? Well, nothing. They showed up and they didn't deliver the result that they said they would. So they failed. The babysitter, she showed up and she did not deliver the result that was promised. So what do? Do you do like the rest of these tomato cans and turn your head and get more of that? Because if you tolerate it, if we tolerate cell phone use like that from the babysitter, we're gonna get what? We're gonna get more of that. If I tolerate the cleaners on their cell phones, missing this, missing that, making this mistake, if I tolerate it, my lowest standard, I'm gonna get what? I'm gonna get more of that performance. So I'll have none of it. So basically, I'm going to be talking to them personally because they're already on strike. They're already through strike one. They don't know it. But I'm gonna be talking to them personally next 2 Mondays when they show up. And it won't be a 3-strike situation. It'll be a 2-strike situation. But when they arrive, and I may get their contact information before this, but good morning. I may get their contact information, but I'm gonna have that same discussion with both of them eye to eye, toe to toe, where I'm going to say, okay, you are charging me $50 an hour each. It's probably more than that, but I'll check. And I would like to know, what is the rate? What is your cell phone rate? What's your earbud rate? Because I would like that reduction. If I'm not hiring your attention span, if I'm not hiring, your focus, if I'm not hiring your mental presence, then I'd like to know what the reduced rate is. So that's a really, really, really big one. So good morning. Good morning. So that's the conversation I'm going to have with those two before they ever work for us again. I'm going to play baseball, and 3 strikes and they're out. And in those cases, it's not even going to be 3 strikes. So I use my baseball principle with vendors, with associates, with employees, anybody and everybody that's in my world that I deal with. And here's another tip. I'm always looking to stock my bench with great people. So I'm always looking we're always building lists of vendors. We're always building lists of babysitters, always building lists of tennis coaches and chess coaches and all of these. You personally and for your children, you can never have enough great teachers, enough great coaches, enough great mentors. So always be stocking your bench. Always be asking other parents, always be doing your research online, but always be stocking your bench with great people. because when they do go lame, you're in a position where you can move instantly. You can use your baseball analogy, 3 strikes and they're out, and you can replace next, replace next, replace next. And that way you're always raising your standards. You're always raising your standards. So because you're not going to tolerate, low performance and low standards, you're going to get more of that. So that's my message today. I play baseball. I've done it for a number of years. Everybody in my world knows I do it. Everybody is on notice. Everybody is on constant probation. There is no security in Michael McLean's world. Professional or business or personal, everybody is on probation. All my employees right now are always on probation. There are no days off, and I am always watching. I am always mystery shopping. I am always checking in. I'm always asking Krista. I'm always asking Emery. I'm always asking other employees. I'm always popping in. I'm always watching. Like a great coach, I'm always mystery shopping and watching. And if they're smart, they know that the cat is never away. The mice at play when the cat is away, I'm the cat, and I'm never away. Whether it's video surveillance, audio surveillance in my businesses, whatever it is, I play baseball. And 3 strikes maximum, and you're out. Done, next. Done, next. And keeping that bench full of great performers that will gladly join your team with one single phone call. So that's it for today. 2 stories about not accepting the common, it's 2022, that's kids today. I don't buy into any of that bullshit, and I don't accept it, because I want an extraordinary life. I want an extraordinary business, and I can't have either if I accept the ordinary performance. So I don't. I want an extraordinary life. So I turn my back on every single thing that's ordinary. I highly recommend that you do the exact same thing. Start playing baseball with vendors, with friends, with negative associates, with employees, poor performing employees, anybody, the guy who cleans your pool, cuts your grass, doesn't relatives, whatever it is. 3 strikes and you're out. And always be demanding more, so you can improve your life and your world. At the end of the day, you're going to be your lowest standards, not your highest aspirations. So you need to be constantly not tolerating anything less than outstanding performance, especially from the people that you're paying money to provide outstanding performance. If I have to babysit, if I have to think about something, I might as well do it myself, and that person is gone. Fire fast. Hire slow, fire fast. That's it for today. Michael McLean. If you want a copy of my brand new book, you can do that at the link below, nobullbook.com. A personal warning, my book is not everybody's cup of Crown Royal. It's for cleaners, okay, not excuse makers. It's for champions, not chumps. It's for contenders, not pretenders. And it's for builders, not takers. nobullbook.com. I have a free webinar training you can access below. It's a kick-ass 70-minute training at worldbuildingwebinar.com, worldbuildingwebinar.com below. And it's a free 70-minute training I did a few weeks back that shows you my top 10 secrets to helping you build your own badass world. And finally, if you would like to be placed on a waiting list and apply for my next world building coaching program, you can do that below at badassmillionaire.com/apply. And that link is below. So there's 3 links below for more information. And if you like my daily videos, You can subscribe below. I do these every day on my broken iPhone 7. I don't carry a cell phone, so this is the only time I actually really use my phone. And it's just me out here taking you on a daily adventure on my 4-mile power walk. I get 15,000 steps in every morning, first thing, 6 in the morning. And if you'd like to come on this adventure with me, you can every day. Just subscribe below. It's unplugged, it's uncensored, it's unfiltered. I don't have anybody helping me with this stuff. I don't have any lights or any of that other BS. I don't have anybody, cleaning it up. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. And of course, it's 100% badass politically incorrect. That's it for me. 2 words, men. 2 words that changed my life and 2 words that can change your life. Be relentless.